Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mr. Scary Tale. Before you drift off, it would be a nice idea if you could leave a comment to let me know where you are listening from. Please don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Right? Let's get comfy and relaxed, and let's begin. It started 3 weeks after we moved in. The house was quiet. Too quiet, honestly. We moved from a noisy apartment into a small rental at the end of a cul-de-sac. No traffic, no neighbors close enough to hear through the walls. Just silence. My daughter, Lily, is 5. At that age, kids talk to themselves, imaginary friends. I never thought much of it, until the night I heard her answering someone. It was raining outside. A soft, steady rain tapping against her bedroom window. I walked past her door around 11:40 p.m. to check if she was asleep. Her light was off, but I heard whispering. Not one voice. 2. I stood still. Lily giggled softly. Then she said, "No, you can't stand there. Daddy will see you." I felt something tighten in my chest. I knocked lightly and opened the door. She was sitting upright in bed, staring at the corner of her room. The darkest corner. The one between her closet and the wall. "Who are you talking to?" I asked gently. She looked at me like the question was strange. "The man," she said. I scanned the room. Empty. Closet closed. Window locked. "Which man?" I asked. She pointed. "The tall one. He doesn't like the rain." The rain outside grew heavier, almost as if on cue. "Why doesn't he like the rain?" I asked. She shrugged. "He says it reminds him of when he couldn't get inside." That sentence stayed with me. I didn't sleep much that night. The next day, I checked the entire house. Locks, windows, attic, basement. Nothing unusual. No signs of anyone breaking in. I convinced myself it was imagination. Until the drawings started. Lily loves to draw. Flowers. Stick figures. Our house. But one afternoon, she handed me a picture. It was our living room. The couch. The TV. Me standing near the hallway. And behind me, a tall black shape, long arms, no face, standing near the ceiling. "You forgot him," she said. I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Is that the man?" She nodded. "He stands behind you when you watch TV." I stopped watching TV after that. A week later, she asked me something that made my blood run cold. "Daddy," she said quietly, "why do you let him come into your room at night?" I felt my stomach drop. "I don't," I said. She shook her head. "Yes, you do. He stands by your bed. He watches you sleep. He says you don't notice because you're too loud when you breathe." I didn't tell her this, but I've always slept alone in my room. There's no reason anyone would be standing beside my bed. That night, I stayed awake. I left the hallway light on. Rain poured outside again. Around 2:18 a.m., I heard it. Soft footsteps. From the hallway. Slow. Measured. Not the creaking of wood. Actual steps. Stopping right outside my bedroom door. I couldn't breathe. The handle didn't move. The door didn't open. But I felt it. Presence. Right there, waiting. Then, from Lily's room, a whisper. "Don't go in there. He's watching you too." The footsteps stopped. But something else started. A soft scratching. Not on the door. On the ceiling. Directly above my bed. Dragging slowly across the plaster. Like someone crawling. The next morning, I found Lily sitting on the stairs, staring up at the ceiling. "He's mad," she said. "Why?" I asked. You looked at him. I never told her what happened that night. I never told her about the footsteps, or the scratching, or how I swear. For a split second, I saw something tall reflected in the black screen of my TV, standing behind me. We're moving again next week. But yesterday, while packing, Lily says something I can't stop thinking about. He says he doesn't live here. I froze. Then where does he live? I asked. She looked directly at me. In the rain. He just waits for houses. Outside, it started raining, and for the first time, I heard something knock. Not on the door, not on the wall, but on the roof, right above Lily's room. One knock. The rain didn't stop that night. I couldn't sleep. My eyes were glued to the ceiling, listening. Every drop sounded louder than before. Every splash against the roof felt deliberate, like it was counting time. Around 2:17 a.m., I heard it. A whisper, not Lily, not the wind. Something soft, but unmistakably inside the room. I froze. It said my name, David. I swallowed hard. It wasn't coming from Lily's room. Not from the hallway. Not the closet. It was behind me. I slowly turned. Nothing. The air was heavy, damp, cold. And then I heard Lily giggle. Don't be scared, Daddy, she said softly. I ran to her room, thinking she had woken and was playing a game. She was sitting up in bed, calm. Why are you awake? I asked. The man wants to meet you, she said. I laughed nervously. I don't think I want to meet him. He says you have to. He says, you always notice me first, Lily whispered, pointing to the corner of her room. I glanced. Shadow. Tall. Human-like. Too tall. Too still. I froze. The rain outside intensified. It sounded like footsteps now, dragging across the roof. Then the whisper came again. You see me? Finally, I turned fully. Nothing. And then, the scratching began. Slow. Long nails dragging along the wall beside Lily's bed. Not playful. Not accidental. It was deliberate. Waiting for me to look. Waiting for me to acknowledge it. I wanted to run. I wanted to grab Lily and leave. But the voice whispered again. You can't leave. He likes houses with children. They make it stronger. I couldn't breathe. I took a step back. The floor creaked. The shadows in the corners stretched. Not just mine. Something behind me mirrored me. Taller, wider, darker. I stumbled backward. Lily giggled. Daddy, he's lonely. He wants you to play too. And then the rain stopped. The room went completely silent. Not just quiet, empty. My ears rang. I looked at Lily. She was smiling, calm, innocent, but her eyes, not quite right, too knowing. Come on, she whispered. He's waiting for you. I don't remember how I got out of the room. I just know that one night changed everything. Since then, I can hear him. Soft whispers, soft knocks. Waiting in the corners, waiting in the rain, waiting for a house, waiting for me. And every night, Lily talks to him. I don't know what she says. I just know the next time the rain falls, he will speak to me again. The rain hadn't stopped in 3 nights. Not a single pause. It sounded like it was searching, moving across the roof, down the gutters, sliding along the walls. I barely slept. Every creak, every drip, every shadow made me jump. Lily, she didn't seem afraid. In fact, she seemed happy. Daddy, she said one night, around 2:11 a.m. He wants to show you something. I froze. Show me what? She didn't answer. She just pointed toward her closet. I didn't want to go near it. Not again. But curiosity and a parent's fear made me step closer. The closet door opened slowly. No wind. No one touched it. It creaked like an old house settling. Then the shadow stepped out. Tall. Unnatural. Limbs too long. Hands that almost brushed the ceiling. No face, just darkness. But I felt eyes. Millions of eyes. Watching. Judging. The air turned cold. Heavy. Moist. Breathing itself. I could hear it soft, deliberate breathing, and it was not mine. "Hello," it said. Not a whisper. Not a growl. A voice. Low. Calm. Human. But wrong. I stumbled back. Who are you?" Lily smiled. "He says his name isn't important," she whispered. "He just wants to live here, with us." I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. But my legs didn't move. The shadow glided across the floor. No footsteps. No sound. Just moving closer. "Why, my daughter?" I asked. My voice shook. "She's the one who sees me," the shadow said. "I've been waiting for someone who can see and listen." It stretched a hand toward Lily. She giggled and took it. I felt my heart stop. The room grew smaller, the walls closing in. The rain outside sounded louder, drumming against the roof, beating against the windows, almost like a chant. Then it turned to me. "Daddy," it said, "you hear the rain. It carries me. I can enter any room I want, but only when you think you're alone." I tried to speak. No words came. "Stay calm," it continued, "or he will learn you faster." Lily laughed softly, reaching up to pat his shoulder. It looked down at her, taller than the ceiling, broader than the doorway. And then it bent toward me. "Do you want to see what I really look like?" I nodded. Couldn't stop myself. The darkness around it twisted. Limbs stretched unnaturally. Its face shimmered, like water reflecting moonlight, but warped. Eyes where there should be none. Mouths opening and closing all over its head. I vomited. My knees gave out. Then it spoke again. "Do not look away. Not once. The rain. The rain will remember you." I didn't know what it meant. I didn't want to know. And then it was gone. The closet door shut. Lily lay in bed, smiling, calm, innocent, like nothing happened. The rain continued, heavy, endless, suffocating. The next day, I searched for anything that could explain it. No footprints, no fingerprints, no signs of entry. Only Lily's drawings. Another picture of our living room. Me on the couch. Lily on the bed. And a black figure behind me. Taller, wider, darker than ever. Lily looked at me. "Don't worry, Daddy. He's just waiting for you to play." That night, I stayed awake. I didn't sleep. The shadow didn't knock. It didn't whisper. It just stood in the corner, watching, waiting. And the rain carried its voice into every room of the house. A promise, not a threat, but a certainty that it was never leaving. The rain never stopped. Every night it poured, heavy, relentless, like someone or something was calling it down. I stayed awake now, couldn't sleep. My coffee was cold, my body trembling, but my eyes refused to close. Lily, she acted normal, too normal, smiling, drawing, talking to her invisible friend. And then the first thing happened. It wasn't a knock this time. It was the ceiling fan. It spun on its own, slowly, then faster, then stopped. No electricity fluctuation. Nothing. Just the shadow, testing, testing the room, testing me. I watched Lily. She laughed softly. He likes when you watch. I didn't move. My hands were frozen to the armrest of the chair. The rain intensified. I could hear it sliding along the walls, drumming on the roof, tapping on the windows. But it was different now. It wasn't random. It formed a rhythm, a pulse, like footsteps, marching through the house, across the walls, across the ceiling, across me. I could feel it. Not on my skin, inside my bones, deep in my chest. Then the first object moved. A lamp in the corner of the room. Not tipping, not falling, floating, slowly, deliberately, toward Lily's bed. I screamed, but no sound came out. She looked at me, calm, smiling. He said, "You'll be okay. He only wants to show you." I wanted to grab her, run, escape, but the shadow had already begun to expand. Corners of the room stretched. Walls seemed further apart, then closer, as if the house itself was bending. The closet door opened again, and this time, it wasn't empty. Its form solidified slightly. Not fully human, not fully shadow, a distorted figure, limbs too long, head flickering like static on a broken TV, eyes where eyes shouldn't be, and it smiled. "Daddy," it whispered. "You see him now." It raised a hand, pointed toward me. I felt a pull, not physical, emotional, psychological. It tugged at my mind, at my perception, my very awareness. I stumbled backward, hitting the wall. It laughed, or something like laughter, a rasping, wet sound. "You won't leave," it said. "The rain won't let you." I looked out the window. Rain poured, but now I could see shapes in it. Tall, dark forms moving across the street, sliding down the rooftops, hopping fences. Every house on the block touched, watching, waiting, and I realized it wasn't confined to this house anymore. It had found the rain. And with the rain, it could travel anywhere. Lily climbed from the bed and walked toward it. "I told you to come play," she said softly. The shadow bent down to her height. Something touched her shoulder. I could see her flinch, not from fear, from recognition. The rain outside hit harder. Lightning flashed, and I swear I saw the shadow outside, moving between raindrops, reflected in the puddles on the street. I tried to speak. "Stop! Leave us alone!" Nothing. It tilted its head. The darkness around it pulsed like smoke. And then, my own reflection in the window smiled back at me. Not me, not human. And it whispered, "You already saw me." I ran. I grabbed Lily, tried to leave. The door slammed shut. Hard. Not by wind, not by anything I could touch. Rain leaked in from the window edges, wetting the floor. But it wasn't water. It was dark, thick, moving, flowing across the room toward me. And the shadow multiplied. Not one figure, many. Taller, wider, flickering in the rain-streaked windows. Waiting, watching, learning. And then Lily whispered, "Daddy, he wants you to come outside. He wants to play in the rain." That night, I realized something terrible. The shadow doesn't just exist in this house. It exists in the rain itself. Every drop carries it. Every storm, every roof, every street, every window. It only waits for a house, for someone to see it. And once it is seen, it begins to follow.
I wasn't even looking for anything scary that night. It was 1:56 a.m. Rain tapped gently against my window, My room was dark, except for the glow of my phone. I couldn't sleep, so I opened Reddit like I always do. I usually scroll mindlessly memes, random questions, conspiracy theories. Nothing serious. Then I saw a post on a small horror subreddit. The title was simple: "If you're reading this alone at night, don't look behind you." I almost laughed. Almost. It had barely any upvotes. No awards, no comments. Just posted 3 minutes ago. For some reason I clicked it. The post itself was short. "There's someone standing behind you. Don't turn around. If you do, it will know you can see it." I rolled my eyes. Typical internet creepypasta. But as I scrolled down to the comments, there weren't any. Instead, at the bottom of the page, I saw something strange. Reddit showed one person typing. That's not how Reddit works. I refreshed the page. The typing indicator disappeared. Then the post changed. The title was the same, but the body text now said, "You looked, didn't you?" My stomach tightened. I hadn't looked. Not yet. I locked my phone. The room felt different, quieter. Even the rain sounded distant. I told myself it was just coincidence. Maybe the OP edited the post. That's normal, right? Still, I slowly turned my head. Nothing. Just my closed bedroom door and the dark hallway beyond it. I exhaled. See? Stupid. I grabbed my phone again. The post now had one comment. From the original poster. It was just 6 words. "He's closer now." I felt my heart start to pound. Okay. That wasn't funny anymore. I clicked the OP's profile. No history. No karma. Account created. 12 minutes ago. I went back to the thread. Another update. The post changed again. "You turned around." I dropped my phone. I hadn't posted. I hadn't commented. But it felt like the thread was reacting to me. My phone buzzed. A notification. Reddit. My hands felt cold as I picked it up. The notification preview read, "You deleted. Replied to your comment." I never commented. I opened it. There was a comment under the post. From my account. I swear on everything, I did not type it. It said, "I can see you." My blood ran cold. Underneath it, the OP replied, "Then why are you pretending you can't?" The room felt smaller, heavier, the air thick. I checked my comment history. Nothing. No trace of it. But it was still there on the thread. Like the page only wanted me to see it. The rain stopped. Just like that. No gradual fade. It just stopped. Complete silence. And that's when I heard it. A soft sound behind me. Breathing. Not mine. Slow. Measured. Close. My body locked up. I didn't want to turn around again. My phone vibrated violently in my hand. The thread updated one last time. "Don't worry. He doesn't like being ignored." The breathing got louder. Right at the back of my neck. Warm. Real. I squeezed my eyes shut. This wasn't real. It couldn't be real. I forced myself to turn. Slowly. Painfully slowly. The hallway was empty. The door was still closed. Nothing there. But something felt wrong. Very wrong. I looked back at my phone. The thread was gone. Deleted. Like it never existed. No history. No notifications. No evidence. Just my reflection on the black screen. And behind me, for just a second, in the reflection, I saw something standing in the doorway. Watching. Smiling. I haven't opened Reddit at night since. But sometimes, when I'm alone, my phone screen lights up by itself, and I see a notification that disappears before I can read it. It always starts the same way. If you're reading this alone, and I never look behind me anymore, because last time, I think it smiled. In the black screen of my phone, I saw it clearly this time. Not a shadow, not a trick of the light. A figure standing in my doorway, too tall, its head slightly tilted, like it was studying me, smiling, but the smile was wrong. Too wide, too still. I spun around. The doorway was empty. My bedroom door was closed. Locked. I ran to it and threw it open. The hallway lights were off. The house was silent. Everyone was asleep. Or at least, I thought they were. I turned back toward my room and froze because my chair, the one behind my desk, was no longer facing the computer. It was facing my bed, facing me, slowly rocking back and forth, back and forth. My phone vibrated again. I didn't want to look, but I did. New notification. Reddit. From a username that didn't exist before. You. Behind you now. The message preview. You shouldn't have refreshed the page. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely tap it. The app opened automatically. No loading screen. Just the thread. Back again. But now it wasn't a normal post. It was a live feed. A video. My room. From above. Like from the ceiling corner. I stared at it. It was a real-time view of me standing there. Phone in hand. Door open. Chair rocking. And then, in the video, something stepped into frame behind me. Tall. Dark. Its limbs too long. Head tilted. That same wide smile. In the video, it leaned down, right next to my ear, and whispered something. I didn't hear it in the room, only through my phone speaker. A low, distorted voice. You finally see me. My body went ice cold. I couldn't move. In the live feed, it slowly raised one hand and touched my shoulder. At that exact moment, I felt it. A weight. A hand. Resting on my real shoulder. Not heavy. Just enough. Enough to know it was there. Tears blurred my vision. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. The Reddit post updated again. He's not behind you anymore. The live video angle changed. Now it was in front of me, looking directly at my face, which meant whatever was behind me was no longer behind me. It was in front of me, in my room, somewhere I couldn't see. The chair stopped rocking. The air felt wrong, like the oxygen had thinned. The screen glitched, static. Then one final message filled the display. Big white letters. Close your eyes. I didn't. I couldn't. The lights in my room flickered once, twice, then went out completely. Total darkness, except for the glow of my phone. And in that glow, right in front of my face, closer than anything should ever be, I saw it, not on the screen. In real life, its face inches from mine, skin stretched too tight, eyes too deep, that smile wider than humanly possible. It whispered, without moving its lips, "Now you belong to the thread." The phone dropped from my hand. The screen shattered on the floor. Everything went black. The next morning, my family found my bedroom empty. Door locked from the inside. Window closed. No signs of struggle. My phone was on the floor. Screen cracked. Still open to Reddit. There was one post on my account. Posted at 3:03 a.m. It read, "If you're reading this alone at night, don't look behind you." And under it, Reddit showed one person typing. The police checked everything. No forced entry. No fingerprints. No camera footage. No sign I ever left the house. But my Reddit account stayed active. That's what scared them the most. Every night, at exactly 3 a.m., a new post appears. Always the same title. If you're reading this alone, the body text changes. It describes a room, small details, the color of the walls, whether the door is open or closed, if there's rain outside. At first, people thought it was a coincidence. Then the descriptions became specific, too specific. One post read, "There's a blue light in the corner. Your phone battery is below 20%. You're lying down, but you're not sleepy anymore." Hundreds of users commented. Most laughed. Some said it matched their room. Then the comments started disappearing. Accounts deleted. Users gone. No goodbye posts. No activity again. Just silence. The thread is still active. It's small. Hard to find. It doesn't show up in search. You only see it if you scroll long enough at night. And if you open it, you won't see anything at first. Just a blank post. White space. But if you wait, if you stay on the page long enough, a sentence slowly appears. Typed in real time, letter by letter. It always starts the same way. You're still here. And at the bottom of the screen, Reddit shows one person typing. But here's the worst part. It's not the OP typing. It's not me. It's the account currently reading the thread. The typing indicator matches your username. Because the moment you open it, you don't just read the thread, you continue it. And if you ever hear breathing behind you while your screen is glowing, don't turn around. Not because something is there, but because if you don't look, it stays inside the phone. And if you do, it steps out. Before you close this video, don't look behind you, because if you made it this far, it already knows where you are.